Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is your boy, the Bengal Dragon. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons, as all your support in this way helps me really remain motivated to continue making these type of videos consistently on this channel. And also, it doesn't cost you anything. So, and also, I'd like to engage with a lot of you in the comment section below. As if any one of you have been following me on YouTube, you know, like I generally tend to respond to comments even on other videos, and even many a times to my trolls as well, like, you know, as long as it is allowed on YouTube, because YouTube has been automatically removing a lot of comments, mostly from my trolls. So I cannot help with that because I don't control the YouTube algorithm. So if you get yourself blocked and you're a troll, I can't help you with that. Right, but this video is going to be specifically about the squad analysis for the Bangladesh team that is selected for the ICC Cricket World Cup 2021, and also a little bit about the rumors surrounding Tamim Iqbal and Shakib Al Hasan and all this. I have the list prepared. Let us have a look. And yes, there are going to be jump cuts in this because it'll save time. To first start off, we have Mahmudullah Riyad as the captain, Shakib Al Hasan as the vice captain, and Mushfiqur Rahim. So this is a good move by the BCB to specifically have Shakib Al Hasan as the vice captain and not Mushfiqur Rahim or someone younger such as Afif Hussain or Mohammad Naeem or whatnot. First of all, the youngers are not that experienced, and between Mushfiqur Rahim and Shakib Al Hasan, the best one poised right now to be in any type of a leadership role is Shakib Al Hasan, because you have seen this, that even when it comes to cricket policy, Shakib Al Hasan has a leadership quality in him. So this is good to see that Shakib Al Hasan is the vice captain. The next three we have is Shamma Sarkar, Afif Hussain, and Mustafizur Rahman. Afif Hussain, you know how I feel about Afif Hussain if you watched my videos before. But if you haven't, I think he is a very good find for Bangladesh cricket. Mustafizur Rahman, he's the man. That's all I have to say. He's the man. He's finding his form back again. And he's proving to be one of the most dangerous bowlers in cricket, especially when it comes to pitches that provide grip and turn for the spinners. And this is something very few cricketers or very few cricketing nations can say, that they have a fast bowler who can be, if not as deadly, even more deadly than a spinner in a spin-friendly wicket. My only concern is Shamma Sarkar in this three, because Mushfiqur Rahim, he is so poised to getting back in form. I believe there's like a domestic game going to happen in Chittagong a few days, Chattogram a few days from today or whatnot. And Mushfiqur Rahim, at least that's what the news report says, he is going to play that match because he wants to get back in form. I just hope Shamma Sarkar also joins him in that journey, because Shamma Sarkar, if I'm not mistaken, and if I'm not fully incorrect on how the BCB are thinking right now, the next on the chopping block was Shamma Sarkar, because the BCB has given him chance after chance after chance, and yes, he performed well against Zimbabwe, and yes, these were more difficult batting conditions. But given that he is a bit more experienced than, let's say, a Mohammad Naeem, you'd expect him to at least learn a little bit, instead of, you know, always consolidating himself to being Tamim Iqbal's deputy in the opening slot. Because we have relatively three youngsters. Like Litin Kumar Das is not that experienced, maybe like 6 years or something. Same with Shamma Sarkar. Mohammad Naeem is even less experienced. So you need someone who can take that experienced senior player role in the opening slot, instead of both of them playing individually by themselves. The next three we have is Nurul Hasan, Sheikh Mahdi Hasan, and Muhammad Saifuddin. For these three, it's pretty straightforward. They have earned their spot in the side. Let's see how Sheikh Mehdi Hassan does when it comes to bowling in conditions that are not that spin friendly, and more specifically conditions that are very conducive to batting, where the spinners will get next to nothing. Let us see if Sheikh Mehdi Hassan has learned to manipulate the flight, the dip, and the drift with his off-spin bowling. And let's hope he can actually show some better performances with the bat as well. Nurul Hassan, still I regard as perhaps the best keeper in Bangladesh right now. So I think that was a good decision to stick with Nurul Hassan. And Mohammad Saifuddin. Now, here's the thing. Mohammad Saifuddin, my only concern is that when he gets it right, he gets it very right. But when he gets it wrong, he is one of the easiest bowlers to dismiss over the ropes. Because he is not express pace, he is not genuine swing. He is, like I said, a better version of perhaps Zia Rahman with a bit more bowling ability. I'm not saying he's a bad bowler, he's a good bowler, but with how much ability he has, he needs to be immaculate with his line and length, and he has to be clever to outthink the batsman from time to time. Next we have Mohammad Naim Sheikh, Taskin Ahmed, and Nasum Ahmed. Now, Nasum Ahmed, he's going to be the frontline left-arm spinner for the side. So, I think he's earned that spot, but he needs to be in conjunction with Shakib Al Hasan, specifically because Shakib Al Hasan is going to play the IPLs in the UAE. So, a bit more familiarity with the conditions, and Shakib Al Hasan needs to guide Nasum Ahmed through the ropes on how to bowl on these types of conditions. Because I don't think Nasum Ahmed has that much experience in bowling in these type of conditions. Taskin Ahmed, enough said, he has made a decent comeback, and let's just hope he maintains or improves upon what he has right now in terms of his pace, bounce, line and length, and also variability. Mohammad Naim Sheikh is a bit of a hit and miss batsman. Now, he has to decide with the opening partner, Liton Das or Soumya Sarkar, who is going to be the aggressor and who is going to be the rotator. Like someone who's going to hit the boundaries more than rotating the strike, someone who's going to rotate the strike more than hitting boundaries. Because this is also how it works in cricket in the opening slot. You don't bat as two individuals. You bat as two individuals working together as one unit. That's why it's a partnership. And finally, we have Liton Das, Shamim Hussain, and Shoriful Islam. Liton Das, as I mentioned with Mohammad Naim and Soumya Sarkar, they need to figure out what they're going to do, what their plan is with the opening batting. With Shamim Hussain, he wasn't given enough opportunities, and I think he is not going to be in your starting 11. Or at least the warm-ups are going to show what he's capable of in more batting-friendly conditions. And let's hope it's a good result. And finally, Shoriful Islam. Shoriful Islam, I won't say hit and miss because I think he only had one game in the New Zealand series, so that's not too much of a sample size to determine what he is capable of. Because against Australia, he actually bowled pretty well, and he's a swing bowler. He's not a cutter type of bowler. So hopefully he can perform very well in the Middle Eastern conditions as well. As anyone of you who has watched cricket in the 90s and 2000s and whatnot, the Middle Eastern conditions, especially during the evening time, I believe are actually pretty good. Even in the daytime, pretty good for swing bowling and pace bowling. So this is your main 15. You have your reserve as Rubal Hussain and Aminul Islam Biplab. It's a little sad to see Rubal Hussain in this spot, but maybe he is as a replacement for if Taskin Ahmed gets injured or if Taskin Ahmed and Mohammad Saifuddin get injured. But Rubal Hussain is also somewhat hanging on. I won't say by a thread, but hanging on lightly, if you will. Because Bangladesh have started to move on from those players. They're moving on to a newer generation, the ones that started in like 2013, 14. I mean, apart from Shakib and whatnot. Rubul Hussain, the chance he gets, he cannot squander. And I just hope Rubul Hussain doesn't get trigger happy again with short pitch deliveries and down the leg side deliveries. Let's hope he has grown enough to grow out of that bad habit. Aminul Islam Biplab, here's who I think is going to be the surprise package. Because we haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he's developed. Or maybe not. He is the one who's bowling I'll be very interested to see. Just because of the mystery factor. Alright guys, that's it for the squad analysis. Now, moving on to some of the rumors. Now, yes, I have heard the rumors that there's unease, there is dissension, there is instability in the cricket ranks under Russell Domingo's tutelage. And even Mashrafi Mortaza came out and said that international coaches are ruining our cricket. Not necessarily. Because honestly, if you think about it, Pakistan had international coaches, Sri Lanka had international coaches, India had international coaches. Okay, even West Indies had international coaches, Zimbabwe had international coaches, Afghanistan had international coaches. So how is it that international coaches are only ruining Bangladesh cricket and not any other country's cricket? So that being said, it's not like there isn't maybe an element of truth to that. Maybe destroy is not the bad word, but maybe the word is perhaps mistreat or something, be complacent with or something. That they're not taking Bangladesh cricket as seriously as they would take Indian cricket or Pakistan cricket or English cricket or Australian cricket or whatnot. Maybe that's the word, but destroying I don't think is the accurate word. Definitely not, because you cannot deny like the positives that someone like maybe a Stuart Law or a Steve Rhodes or even a Jamie Siddons, as much as he or Mashrafi, as much as Mashrafi has reason not to like Jamie Siddons, we made some progress under Jamie Siddons. So you cannot deny the positives. And it cannot be that the positives are only from the people and the negatives are only from the leadership. So the leadership is always a bad thing and the people, whatever they do, it's always a good thing. Not only in cricket, you're seeing this in many type of politics as well, which is very frustrating. But anyways, that aside, I've seen some news channels make a big deal out of Tamim Iqbal not playing. Please, think straight. People, think straight. Tamim Iqbal had a very genuine reason not to play. He is going to play the Everest T20, but he is not going to play the ICC Cricket World Cup T20. And this is very rudimentary to understand why. Because if Tamim Iqbal fails in ICC Cricket T20, he would have taken a spot away from someone who had the potential to perform, but his presence is actually causing the team more harm if he's taking up a performer's spot. Tamim Iqbal, given that he has not had match time in T20 for a while, which is true, go look at the stats. You can't just make a comeback and expect to warm up to the entire World Cup tournament just by 2 or 3 warm-up games. It doesn't work that way. You need to have at least one series match practice of international cricket to just sort of get back into the rhythm of things. Okay, there's other rumor about Mushfiqur Rahim and whatnot, he dropped the wicketkeeper position out of protest. Listen, if Nurul Hassan is performing well, Mushfiqur Rahim, regardless of how established he is, at this point in time, Nurul Hassan is performing better than Mushfiqur Rahim. He's producing more positive results. So just before the World Cup, why would you not pick Nurul Hassan to replace Mushfiqur Rahim? And if Mushfiqur Rahim doesn't want to keep in T20s, that's fine. It gives an opportunity for younger people to get more established and finally transition into taking over the mantle from Mushfiqur Rahim in ODIs and tests eventually. Because, folks, Mushfiqur Rahim, Shakib Al Hasan, Mahmudullah, they're not young anymore. In cricketing terms, they're getting close to the last phase of their career. They're still not at the last phase of the career, but they're slowly getting close to it. And you need to have that transition. And if Mushfiqur Rahim, he's considered perhaps the most technically sound batsman in Bangladesh. If this gives him the opportunity and the freedom to focus more on his batting, and Nurul Hassan can do the keeping and the batting, this can only be positive for Bangladesh. So please, people, like social media people and journalist people, like, please think a bit more critically about this, and from both sides. And not both. Both is there only two. From multiple sides. Because our human brains are capable of this. And think how this could work for Bangladesh. Because it's not like Mushfiqur Rahim can never keep again. It's not like he is banned from keeping. But it's a chance. It's a chance that people are taking. Maybe Mushfiqur Rahim himself is taking. I don't know if Russell Domingo pressured him or not, but the outcome is Mushfiqur Rahim is not going to keep in T20s anymore. If this works out for the better, then it's a good move. Regardless of whose feelings were hurt, it's a good move. And you're in international cricket. You have, and Mushfiqur Rahim, listen. Sometimes I think the media might be exaggerating a little bit. Because Mushfiqur Rahim is not as soft as maybe some people portray him to be. Okay? If you remember, a few years ago, Neil Wagner hospitalized Mushfiqur Rahim in the middle of a test match, bowling bouncers and short balls and whatnot, and put him in the hospital. There's an ambulance on the pitch. An ambulance stretchered him out on the pitch. And still, he did not quit from cricket. He came back and played cricket. So, Mushfiqur Rahim is not as soft as people think. It's just a phase. Let us see what happens. If it works out, fine. If it doesn't work out, well, it didn't work out. Because you can't take an action and say with certainty that this is going to produce a very good result in cricket, like we're seeing right now. That okay, just ease the pressure off Mushfiqur Rahim. Let's see, it might improve his batting, because his batting form is the focus. And yes, I know it's not been good, but Mushfiqur Rahim, he showed that he's determined to get this form back by being willing to play those domestic games before going on to the Middle East for the T20 World Cup. And as for Shakib Al Hasan, listen, now no one is focusing on Shakib Al Hasan kicking the wickets, or like hitting the wickets with the bat and then coming back and kicking it like a Tom and Jerry cartoon, like when Tom gets buried in the sand, Jerry just comes along and just jumps on the sand just to make sure he's completely buried and whatnot. No one's focusing on that right now. And listen, we understand Shakib Al Hasan's frustration, because like it or not, Shakib Al Hasan, he is the face of Bangladesh cricket. And as the international face of Bangladesh cricket, he has been exposed to much more better quality domestic level cricket all around the world. So he has more perspective and more experiential knowledge to compare what he's seeing around the world compared to what he's seeing in Bangladesh. And there's good reason for him to get frustrated from time to time because we are all human beings. Okay? People always make this analogy that you have to think about the children, what the children are going to think of you. Okay, first of all, a lot of people who say you have to think about what the children are going to think of you, maybe they themselves have amounted to very little in their lives because they don't know the immense pressure that goes along with being, such a recognizable face. But do you really want to express to children that you have to be perfect? And there is such a thing as perfect human beings? No, because that is a lie. Why would you want a child to believe in such a lie from a living person? Yes, people make mistakes and people learn from those mistakes. If the right lesson is taught, the children will develop with a much more healthier mindset, most likely. That everyone has to work through their imperfections, even when you are at the top and all eyes are on you. You're not infallible from making mistakes. And this is why, I am so vehemently against those who go retroactively and try to retroactively blame someone for something people have done in the past, but take consequences for it right now. Those are, in my eyes, some of them are the lowest form of intelligence on earth. And some of them are so low that dignifying them, sometimes I myself feel diminished. I myself feel degraded and devolved, even addressing them at that level, because that type of thinking is this small, and you will not believe it. It comes from some people who have some of the most impressive titles before their name: engineer, doctor, philosopher, and all that, and so many accomplishments. Yet sometimes the thinking that they exhibit, it is insulting beyond belief. Anyways, that's a topic for another day. For now, let us just focus on Bangladesh cricket. Please do let me know what you thought about the squad and my analysis of the rumors and the rumors themselves in the comment section below. And as always, please do hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons. As I keep reminding you guys, it really helps this channel grow, and it doesn't cost you anything, and it also helps me remain motivated to continue making these type of videos. This is your boy Tanvir Saad, the Bengal Dragon, signing out.